Hey Sagittarius, welcome back to Taurus Does Tarot. It is late. I am so close to being done. And I'm a little bit over it. That sucked and I'm not trying it again. Live with it. Okay, so anyways. Alright, we going for it. We just gonna do it. Bottom of the deck, Three of Swords, Sorrow. Alright, let's get this party started! Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups and we have the Three of Wands, which is Virtue. The Queen of Cups is a mother. She is loving, she is nurturing, she has a solid perspective, she knows herself, she knows her people, she is constantly filling and refilling and making sure making sure no one goes thirsty, right? Three of Wands, Virtue, fire energy. Wands, also staying true to the self, and to be virtuous is to hold on to your own morals. So I feel a very good, clean, kind of beautiful, loving energy coming from these first two cards. To follow, we have the Knight of Cups and the Five of Swords, Defeat. So let's say you are the Queen of Cups, you are staying true to yourself. Let's say this is a man. Obviously a good match. We have double cups, the King and Queen of Cups. But what is this Five of Swords, which is defeat? You could either be giving in to the dynamic or you could be fighting it, right? You can be defeated by it or you can be defeated in the sense that you're no longer fighting against it, right? Then we have the Queen of Swords and we have the Four of Cups, which is luxury. So we had this Queen of Cups energy, we had this Knight of Cups, all of a sudden we are at the Queen of Swords. So things maybe are not as smooth sailing as they were with the Queen of Cups, not quite the same nurturer, but definitely a hard worker and definitely very thorough in her decisions and her actions. To be paired with the Four of Cups, sticking along with the cups, but it is luxury, so it's about working hard to get what you want and to be comfortable with it. So then we have the Five of Discs, Worry, and the Six of Discs, Success. Okay, and I love that they're together because I always use the analogy. I had the cat over there. The analogy that the Five of Discs is like having 5 plates and you're worried because you're like, how am I going to get these plates out to my table? Like, how am I going to carry 5 plates? But then you get a 6th plate, and with that 6th plate, you get a tray. And all of a sudden, no more worries. You carry your plates and you get them to your table and everything's groovy. So you're going from the 5 of Discs to the 6 of Discs. You may be worried now, but success is alongside you. So it's really, don't sweat the small stuff, because clearly you are sweating the small stuff, right? And there might be some bigger stuff to sweat, but this actually seems to be going pretty smoothly. So I would just accept things for the way they are instead of trying to take too much control of the situation, right? Because it's just stressing you out when you could just be living in luxury and very successful. Up top, cat is bucking around. Up top we have the Ace of Discs. And down here we have the Knight of Swords with the Ten of Cups satiety on its side. So the Ace of Discs would probably refer to financial, right? Just like discs often do. The Ace of Discs is like having the bag secure, like you're good, you're solid, it's there, it's in your hands, it's in control, it's totally fine. Nothing to worry about physically or financially. Here we have the Knight of Swords and the Ten of Cups on its side. So we're talking Queen and Knight of Cups, and now we're talking Queen and Knight of Swords. And so you're taking this comfortable, warm, embracing energy and turning it into a fucking sword fight. So what you really have to ask yourself is if you want this or if you want this. Do you want to be the warm, nurturing, loving, compassionate people, or do you want to be the type who are go-getters but also probably fight a little bit more than you need to, right? So is this everything that you want and then some, or is it not enough? You have to decide how you feel about that. We do have the Two of Discs here, which is change. So I think it seems like there's a transition happening, and I think you need to embrace the change rather than be caught off guard by it or shaken up by it. You just have to embrace it. And there will be decisions to make, and each decision can completely butterfly affect your life, right? But don't sweat it too much. We have the Star and the Three of Cups, abundance, okay? So the Star is like, you are the focus, you are the center, but it's also to take something as a surprise. It's also Aquarius energy. And then abundance, of course, is like letting it flow and letting it come to you and not fighting it and just going with it. So you have to really ask yourself what kind of effort you're going to be putting in. You have to ask yourself what kind of person you want to be and what kind of person you want to be with. So it's going to be a lot to think about, but it'd be good to think about it. You know, there's nothing inherently bad about this reading, but it seems more like you're questioning the good. So, Knight of Wands, the Devil, the Priestess, and the Four of Discs power. Okay, so the Knight of Wands is very emotional. He kind of comes in to the rescue, very passionate, concerned, strong, and just oozing like charisma and not gentleness, but something similar to that is, I can't think of what word that I'm looking for. But then you also, right next to it, have the Devil, which is Capricorn energy, but it's also a lack of self-control, and it's addiction and vices, and it's kind of like the bad things in life, right? So you have all these knights out here, and I think maybe you don't thoroughly know which one you want. This might be one of those things where you have options right now, and you gotta decide, but do you? Okay, just play along. Okay, let's backtrack. It's late. Scratch that. No, you might have options, but you have to really ask yourself who would be the best option. And this Knight of Wands, perhaps, or potentially, I was about to say potentially, the Knight of Wands could be a fire sign. The Knight of Swords could be an air sign. The Knight of Cups could be a water sign. So, I mean, it might be worth looking at birthdays if there are options in your life. These could also be relationships that are non-romantic. I feel like this reading is just all over the place, but that's big Sagittarius energy, right? This fire sign guy, or the King of Wands, Knight of Wands, he's a little out of control, and you know this, but it makes you feel the most empowered. It's almost like he's the one the most like you, and he fuels your fire. So it's like, how much do you want to put up with? And if you don't have options, we could be talking about the same person. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a man. It can be masculine energy. Again, it doesn't have to be romantic, so it could be men in your life in a non-physical, non-romantic sense. Boss, father, brother, friend, whatever. Lots of masculine energy, lots of different moods. I'm seeing a lot of different moods because we have the water, the fire, and the air. But no earth. So it's a little... You know what I mean? I'm done. Period. That's all I got in me. Okay, so... You're getting 2 demons. Let's talk about work life, because that's so much easier to talk about than all this messy shit. Okay, we have Lechis and we have Stolas. And Stolas did come up earlier today. Don't remember when. Lechis. Okay, Colin de Plancy notes that Lechis use their gift of imitations to lure travelers off the beaten path and deep into the forest, where they would then tickle the travelers nearly to death. This is not really the most terrible of threats, but there you have it. The Lechis are protectors of the forest and strongly believe that humans should not intrude into natural spaces. But they are not terribly violent in their methods of punishing offenders. Nevertheless, one wonders if they might not have better luck trying to discuss their reasoning instead of attacking humans, no matter that their method of attack is more annoying than dangerous. Beware of taking personal campaigns to extremes, alienating potential allies by forcing strong views on others in destructive ways. Not much more to say about that. Be careful of what you say to who. Like, don't talk politics, don't talk religion, and don't talk about money at work. The basics. Yeah, just keep work relationships professional, to say the least. Although many demons are knowledgeable in the arts and sciences, including the medicinal properties of plants and the mystical qualities of minerals, Stolas' understanding of these items extends past basic understanding into appraisal. Consider the difference between knowing the name of a particular artist and having an appraiser give you the value of one of that artist's works. Stolas employs his knowledge of mystical, monetary, and medicinal objects to give the bearer an accurate picture of those items' uses, properties, and overall value in the world. Focus on accurate appraisal and the search for true worth. If you need a raise, get one, honey. Period. Just know your worth. If a job doesn't value you, look for a new one. Fuck 'em. Well, it's a pandemic. Slow your roll. But just saying. It's all about worth. So, this was a bit messy. I hope you got something out of it. That's all I got for you. So, good luck. Love you. See you next time. Hopefully.